become the most incredible, awesome version of yourself? Well, as with the rest of this course, I'm not talking about the usual self-help stuff. This goes beyond being a little better with the opposite sex or being a little more productive. Want to take on all new challenges, explore new frontiers, and grow and transform yourself? Well, the answer is to overcome your fear. But before we get into that, let's take some time and define some words that are often interchanged and quite often misunderstood. These words are fear, anxiety, worry, panic, feeling anxious, feeling undue stress, and anxiety disorder, and are used throughout this section. So let's just define them. First of all, worry. This is the thought process that creates the feelings and emotions experienced sometimes as anxiety. Worrying can be useful in helping to find solutions to problems. However, worrying often centers on problems that cannot currently be solved. Thinking soon becomes very negative and doom-laden. And this is misusing the imagination. This worrisome thinking style can easily create the conditions that make a person feel anxious. Okay, helplessness. Well, that comes from insufficient information to handle a situation. Overstimulation, too much information, or information overload. Incongruity, well, that's conflicting information. Unpredictability, well, that's having uncertain outcomes. All of this can cause worry or the feeling of anxiousness or even anxiety. So that's how we will use worry. Now let's describe anxiety. Now, it's a bit like being on yellow alert. Anxiety is about looking out for possible danger and often centers on trying to find certainty in uncertain situations. It's an attempt to stay safe, a survival tactic by foreseeing and planning for every conceivable outcome. This worry is often about the future, and because it's too far away, the outcome cannot easily be determined, but we play this what-if game anyway. This leads to many unresolved what-ifs, and a person seems to settle on the most catastrophic outcome, just in case. Now, when you're feeling anxious, subtle changes start to occur within the body, including jumpiness and that feeling on edge. There's a heightened sense of looking out for danger. Oftentimes your muscles tense up, just in case physical action is required. This approach serves us well when faced with a real potential threat. One reassuring fact about anxiety and panic is that they are perfectly normal human responses when faced with danger and uncertainty. Your mind and body are working together just the way they're supposed to work, keeping you safe. Okay, now, how are we going to use fear in this section on fear? Well, fear is associated with more precise danger and starts to engage other survival tactics, like the fight or flight response. It's going to be like stepping up to a level orange alert. Fear is one stage away from panic, a definite threat of danger, or at least something unpleasant has been sensed. This could be something tangible or something imagined, a future based on what if. The intensity of the fear depends upon First, the seriousness or unpleasantness of threat. Next, how far into the future it is. Now, we feel scared and afraid in anticipation, but at this moment, they're only thinking about a future event. It isn't actually happening and hasn't been classified as life-threatening yet. Therefore, full panic mode hasn't been triggered. However, fear starts to engage the body's fight or flight response, especially if the object of that fear is imagined vividly and physical changes are occurring within the body. Those could include rapid breathing to take in more oxygen, a raised heartbeat to pump that oxygen-rich blood to the muscles that have already been supercharged with adrenaline. Now, oftentimes we start sweating to both cool the body and give the hands better grip. Now, this state of fear can be experienced for prolonged periods when it's due to thoughts and not a real situation. That's why anxiety and fear can be extremely tiring, and it's not the way it's supposed to work at all. Fear is intended for short-term survival, not long-term existence. This state of readiness means the body can quickly step up to the full panic response if events deem it necessary. Okay, now let's move into panic. Now, panic is essentially an extension of fear, but in an extreme form. Feeling totally overwhelmed by the physical and mental feelings of it. Now, panic happens when faced with sudden life-threatening danger at this very moment. The panic response, red alert, is vital in this situation because it gets the body instantly into the optimum state for survival, getting ready to fight or to flee, or sometimes even freeze. Panic is more often experienced in the context of a panic attack. See, in a truly dangerous situation, the physical effects of panic are put to good use, fighting or fleeing, and the person would be focusing on doing just that, not thinking about how they're going to feel. It's only when panic strikes for no apparent reason that a person has a chance to become aware of his many physical sensations that are going through his body. Okay, now, a little lengthy, but with those definitions in mind, take the following to the bank. Your fear is what is holding you back. Your fear is what is making you less capable and less formidable. And your fear is what is taking away from your happiness and your fulfillment. Now, why do I say that? Let me explain it this way. It might be oversimplifying, but it will get us on the same page regarding fear. So, let's go to the next video and suffer through my explanation.